building schema, promoting critical thinking, enhancing communication skills, promoting cultural awareness, and cultivating curiosity. Have I gotten your attention yet? Because all of those things, I guarantee you, are things you want for your classroom and for your students. So how do you get them? Would you believe me if I said there's one thing you can do to ensure that all 5 of those are actually happening inside your classroom? Well, friends, you're not going to want to miss this episode. Today, I'm going to share exactly how, and it's no surprise. As soon as I say it, you're going to go, yeah, I knew that. I knew that. But we're going to really talk about making sure it happens today. So what is the secret? Not skipping your content areas. I mean, not skipping science, not skipping social studies. Those 2 content areas, specifically in elementary education, are vital to your students' success when they get older and in their higher grades. We have to ensure that not just because they're standards, not just because our states tell us that we need to teach them, but for lots of other reasons, like I mentioned a second ago. So we're actually going to take a deeper dive into these 5 benefits of not skipping teaching your content area. So before we do that, make sure to hit that follow button and subscribe to the Sierra Harris teaching channel so you don't miss anything new in the upcoming videos. We have some awesome things coming up. You're not going to miss them. So not skipping science and social studies. Content areas provide so much more than just a checkbox of, yes, I taught this standard. And it's really, really hard as elementary teachers who our focus is really reading and math. We're trying to build readers. We're trying to build foundational mathematical skills. We want to make sure that when we get them into higher grades like middle school and high school, that they're able to use those skills to then learn content areas, right? It's the whole concept of I'm learning to read, now I'm reading to learn. However, by skipping them, ignoring them, or not finding time to teach these content areas, we're actually doing our students a disservice, not only to their future selves, but their current selves. There's a lot of benefits that come from ensuring that you found time to adequately and explicitly teach science and social studies, maybe even health and a few others. That, again, there's a lot of benefits to it. So let's dive in to some of these benefits. The first one is the most important. And if you know anything about the science of reading and how and everything, all the research it's really been around for a while, but right now it's finally coming to surface and teachers are finally being exposed to all of the research. But one of the biggest proponents of our students being successful in reading comprehension and reading overall in literacy is building, using, and promoting our schema, our background knowledge. And I don't know if you have read the book called The Knowledge Gap. It's a pretty hefty read, but it's a good one. I will put the link in the video description down below. If you click the See More button, you'll find all of the notes and everything for today and any links that are relevant. But I will put that link down there. But it is definitely one that you are going to want to check out because it really showcases the importance of our students understanding that they have prior knowledge, that they can use their prior knowledge, and also understanding that when we don't have prior knowledge, that it actually impedes our reading abilities. I'm getting my doctorate right now in literacy. Really excited about it. And I'm reading a lot more research about this exact topic right now. And it's everything that I've said before I started this program. But having and building and utilizing our student schema is one of the, if not the most important concepts and tools that they need to learn how to use. So how does this link back to what I said about not skipping science and social studies? By ensuring that we are explicitly teaching and finding time to teach these content areas, we're not only helping to build their schema, but we're also broadening their horizons. So science and social studies, they really help expose students to a wide or a vast range of topics, including things like different cultures, historical events, scientific concepts, different things like that. And this exposure actually helps students broaden their worldview and their appreciation for things like diversity in the world around them. And then the more we teach about science and social studies and all the concepts in between, then when they come in reading, they come up against a passage that has a concept in it that maybe before they would not have any schema for. They're going to better be able to approach and attack and comprehend that exact text. Okay, so it is vital that we are using science and social studies actually to help build our current gains in literacy. Another benefit of not skipping science and social studies is it really actually helps promote critical thinking. And if we, as reading teachers, that's really our end goal. We want our students to be deep thinkers. We want them to be able to analyze and evaluate and critique and expose and, all those fancy DOK Bloom's words, right? I can throw them all at you. You know them all already. But in reality, in order to find that depth and complexity that we're wanting, we really need to be focusing on content areas like science and social studies. So in order to have that critical thinking, that's where a lot of that critical thinking can come out naturally. So science and social studies actually encourage students to think critically and analyze information. These subjects require our students to ask questions, which is one of the strategies that I know, I promote all the time. It's so important. They help students form hypotheses, evaluate evidence. These are essential skills for problem solving and decision making, all of those things that we want our students to be able to do when they're reading independently. But science and social studies really help promote all of that naturally. So that's another great benefit for making sure we're not skipping these content areas. Let's go on to number 3, enhancing communication skills. Studying things like science and social studies often involve a lot of different components of literacy, like reading, writing, and even presenting information. So these subjects actually help improve students' communication skills both in written form and in verbal form, which are valuable, of course, for overall academic success and even professional success. So those communication skills that we're wanting to bring out, which, as you know, all of that's linked together. If I can become a better writer, I'm becoming a better reader. If I'm becoming a better reader, I'm becoming a better writer. So having all of those literacy skills all linked kind of into one area and using science and social studies to help kind of support all of that, it's just wins all around is really what it is. Number 4, promoting cultural awareness. I kind of tiny hit on this a little bit when I was talking about number 1, but I had to make it its own benefit by itself for a lot of reasons. Social studies specifically helps expose students to different cultures, traditions, historical events, from all around the world. And this exposure really helps foster that cultural awareness and the sensitivity, which are crucial to the increasingly diverse and interconnected world that we're building right now. I know in your own school, you probably can agree that the demographics of your school over the last 10 and 15 years have probably changed. Maybe not if you are in a very, very country setting, where the population doesn't change a lot. But the majority of, outer city schools, inner city schools, like our populations are changing so much. And our students need to become more aware of the diversity changes. And in order to do that, content areas like science and social studies really help promote that cultural awareness overall. All right, last benefit. I probably could have 20 of them, but I'm only giving you my top 5. So the last one I'm going to throw at you today is that when we teach subjects like science and social studies, they are help cultivating curiosity. And if you've ever taken my summer workshop called Boost Comprehension, you know that we spend an entire day on curiosity. Because when we are curious about something, our motivation increases, our comprehension and understanding of what we are reading increases. So things like science and social studies topics inherently actually that are interesting. Like those are the things that our students just love learning about. And they can absolutely help spark the curiosity in our students. So these subjects encourage students to, of course, ask questions again about the world around them. They help foster a love of learning that can really extend to other areas of education. It just makes them want to know more. I can't tell you how many times that we would be watching National Geographic during Shark Week or something as a family. And my boys specifically would be asking all kinds of questions. And so I would help point them to different books in the library and different books in their school that could help answer their questions. And they devoured them. Do you think if I would have just given them that book or had them check that book out without all that curiosity building, that they would have devoured the books like they did? Absolutely not. The curiosity was the component that helped drive their motivation, drive their curiosity, drive their overall love of understanding, love of reading. All of it builds together and just makes one amazing experience. So, have I convinced you yet? That's kind of was the point of this, is to say, I know that we only have a limited amount of time in our day. And honestly, adding more time in the day would never, ever be a solution because we would just fill it with more things and find more reasons to have even more time. So without time being your thing, well, I don't have time. Don't use that as an excuse anymore. We make time and we find time for the things that are important to us, right? If you are someone who adequately believes that working out is vital to your health and your success, personally, you find time for it, right? You make it a priority in your life. Well, I'm here to tell you that making science and social studies a priority in our day for our students is just as important. So I did develop a really awesome resource or resources. It's kind of a line of resources that I think will benefit you if you are one that is struggling with finding the time. They're called Science Smash Ups or Social Studies Smash Ups. And what they do is they help allow you to teach reading and that content area both at the same time. So you are using the resource to teach the content area, but you are supporting their understanding of the content area by using reading skills and strategies. So it is a fantastic resource. It comes with so much included, everything from an actual one-of-a-kind reader, so you actually get a full book that you can print out for your kids. It has a workbook for your students. They have labs if it's the science, or collaborative activities if it's the social studies side. There's vocabulary cards, vocabulary activities, assessments, posters. Literally, I don't think there's a thing in there that you would go in there and say, oh, I wish it had. Honestly, it has it all. And I'm not saying that because I made it. I'm saying it because it's true. Because we took the time to make sure that what we were developing in this resource was exactly what you guys would need. Because I know I've been there. I've been in your shoes in the classroom. You don't have enough time. So having one resource that does it both, like how awesome would that be? So definitely check out the See More button in the video description below and look for my science smash ups and my social studies smash ups, because they are really going to be a game changer to ensure that you do have enough time to get it all in. So I'll leave you with that. Go check those out. That's your homework tonight. Go and check out those resources. You can grab them in a bundle to save money, or you can grab them individually. And I'm always looking for new topics. So if you have a science topic that you know you teach, or a social studies subject that you know you teach, and I haven't covered it yet, drop those in the comments below and I will absolutely add it to list, and we will be putting out new units all the time. So hopefully I convinced you it has to be a priority. Please, please, please do not skip science and social studies anymore. And if you do, I will be coming after you, friends. Just kidding. But hopefully you can see the benefits. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. If you have any comments, drop them below. I love reading your guys' feedback and questions. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you over the next video, and have fun in your science and social studies lessons. Bye, everyone.